I was told to deliver this message. You think you're invincible because you got money, bombs, guns, and planes, killing babies, innocent people. I think you're insane. Chaos and destruction is the name of your game. Somebody's got to stop you before the whole world goes up in flames. So he told me to tell you, I'll
fight for my brothers. We can go to war. Fighting for my father, I will give my life for. I feel so alone in this white man's world. Whip it in the kitchen, watch that white turn pearl. Standing on the corner, standing on my phone, standing with my gangsters, but I'm standing on my own. If you got to be alone, split you like you be alone. Sacrifice my life, understanding each his own. Toast to the keys of success. Bel Air rose on my breath. I've been a student since '03, and we can fight till we see peace.
I fight like that. 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 I fight like that.
Let me holler at you for a minute, give you game. Real scrappy, love the bottom, Buddha bang. Trigger happy, and everybody in the game. You shot your family and didn't even know it, man. Same rules, same code, with a different slang. Struck him out, now they took him out the picture frame. Mama, don't cry, we gon' get by. 2 weeks later, got killed in a drive-by. Why must we fight amongst each other? Reach one, each one, teach one, my brother. I teach them how to fight on the grass and in the class. Snoop Dogg, all stars, yes sir, they coming fast. D1, football, we won. Now proud of my son, Lil Snoop, yes sir, cause he won. Right on, SC, fight on. We 100, keep it coming, dip, slip, slide on, light on.
I fight like that. 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 I fight like that.
Watching the warriors, the story of the rebels. You from the ghetto, did you know never to settle? I'm shooting common on the streets, I'm a pharaoh. Battling in African-American apparel. Fists on a t-shirt, youngins doing street work. Grinding till they teeth hurt, that's because they need work. Working till the feet hurt, trying to get my soul right. Used to be on old bikes, serving them that cold white. Wars in the winters, the block is hot in summers. Today's mathematics, we know it's strength in numbers. To the bosses and the runners, the hustlers and the stunners. We fight for the hundreds, we fight for the oneness.
He fights with the heat. He fights with the sleet. He said, I am who I am. I can't be beat. Nobody has won a war against me.
I fight like that. 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 I fight.
My thinking is so superior, and my knowledge is so positive, and my logic is so wise until it clashes with their mentality, which is down here, and I'm up there. So by me being so high, I can see more and see farther than you. And you're looking up at me saying, Ali, don't do it. Don't do it. Ali, please stop me when it hurts. And you're on a job making 60, 70 pounds a week, or whoever this guy is. Never been out of the country, not known in his own neighborhood. Ali, don't do it. But I'm at such a high level until I don't think like you. I'm not like you. I know I say you, I mean not that person.
But you know why they say that. I mean, it's for the best possible reasons, though.
They fear and they are aware it looks dangerous to them.
That's
but
right.
It's not really that dangerous to me.
A little more than halfway through is being aggressive. And Ali is irritated and taunted. Down. He was knocked down, clearly with the straight right.
No problem. This will be the biggest upset since Sonny Liston. And I think it is befitting that I go out of boxing just like I came in, defeating a big, bad monster that nobody could destroy. A hard punch. I'm the underdog. If he hits me, I'm in trouble, like the Sonny Liston fight. But I came back and I shook the world and I got Liston. Now it's 10 years since Sonny Liston. I'm meeting another big, bad, strong monster knockout artist that beats everybody. Sonny Liston knocked out Patterson twice, and I was supposed to fall, but he didn't knock me out because he could hit hard, but he couldn't find nothing to hit. George Foreman knocked out Ken Norton, knocked out Joe Frazier. True, I didn't knock him out, but I'm so fast, I'm so hard hit, I'm so scientific. I'm a total different man from Frazier and Norton. Listen, David, when I meet this man, if you think the world was surprised when Nixon resigned, wait till I whip Foreman's behind. I'm telling you, David, I'm down to 215 pounds. Right now, I said it when 215. I'm fighting weight already. I usually train 6 weeks for fight. I've trained 4 months for fight. I'm chopping trees. I've done something special. I've wrestled with an alligator. I've tussled with
you totally. I believe you completely.
I have tussled with a whale. I done handcuffed lightning, throw thunder in jail. Now, you know I'm bad. Only last week, I murdered a rock, injured a stone, hospitalized a brick. I'm so mean, I make medicine sick. Man's in trouble. Listen, George Foreman, people are afraid of George Foreman. They talk about how hard he hits. The world has been deceived. You listen to me now. I've never told you wrong. The man don't hit hard. He knocked Joe Frazier down 6 times. He got up 6 times. Joe King Roman, his Tokyo, Japan fight, the Puerto Rican champion, knocked him down 3 times. He jumped up 3 times. He knocked Ken Norton down 4 times. He jumped up 4 times. When have you ever saw the man say 7, 8, 9, 10, count his man out? When I hit Sonny Liston the second fight, he stayed out for the count of 10. Zora Foley stayed out for the count of 10. Cleveland Williams stayed out for the count of 10. What few I have knocked out stayed down. Sugar Ray Robinson knocked him out for the count of 30. Joe Louis, Marciana, Jack Dempsey, Jack Johnson, Archie Moore as a child, they knock him out cold. So this man has never knocked nobody out cold. He's a bully. He's slow. He has no skill, no footwork. He's awkward. And I have been giving him a name. I named Floyd Patterson the Rabbit. I named Sonny Liston the Bear. And he shall be known as officially as the Mummy. The Mummy.
And why the Mummy?
Because he fights. When he's fighting, if you ever watch him in the ring, he drags like that after his opponent. And how's the mummy gonna catch me? When you're fighting a mummy, you just keep a step ahead of the mummy. See? Just move on the mummy. No, mummy, I'm over here. No, mummy, I'm over here. Yeah, no, you're moving too fast. The mummy don't move that fast. I don't pay no attention to what they say about me. All I do is just do what I have to do and get paid, and that's it. But I don't really pay no attention to the rules of boxing. I don't pay no attention. I defy all the rules. I've added pages to the book of boxing. I have this game as such a thing now until boxing promoters can no longer afford my shows. I have governments like Iran ready to put up $10 million for me to fight Joe Frazier. I have governments like Cairo, Egypt, wanting to put up $6 million for people like Ron Lau. I have countries all back throughout Zaire talking to Mobutu. He wants him back again. They'll put up $5 more million for return with Foreman. When we talk about 10 million and 6 million and 4 million, this is unbelievable. And they don't expect to get the money back. They're promoting their countries and their ideals. So I've excelled so in this sport of boxing until Madison Square Garden is too small. Yankee Stadium is too small. The Houston Astrodome, the biggest promoters in the world is Americans, and Englishmen you can get for promotions cannot just promote me no more. You understand? So I've not only added pages to boxing, but added new sections to the boxing book.
See how well the challenge rolls back from those punches. And there's Foley down. 5, 6, 7, 8. Foley is up in time. Talk about Foley's courage. Champion has plenty himself. There's no question about that. Foley down from that right hand. I don't know if he's going to make this one. 6, 7, 8. He's not. No, the Gangway tried to get us. And Muhammad Ali has retained his heavyweight championship.
Everybody stop talking now. Attention. I told you, all of my critics, I told you all that I was the greatest of all time when I beat Sonny Liston. I told you today I'm still the greatest of all time. Never again defeat me. Never again say that I'm going to be defeated. Never again make me the underdog until I'm about 50 years old. Right. Then you might get me. But I didn't dance. I didn't dance for a reason. I wanted to make him lose all his power. I kept telling him he had no punch. He couldn't hit. He's swinging like a sissy. He's missing. Let me see your box. I hadn't started dancing yet. You can't say my legs are gone. You can't say I was tired, because what happened? I didn't dance from the second round on. I stayed on the ropes. When I stay on the ropes, you think I'm doing bad. But I want all boxers to put this in the page of boxing. Staying on the ropes is a beautiful thing with a heavyweight when you make him shoot his best shots and you know he's not hitting you. I would have gave George Foreman 2 rounds of steady punching, because after that he was mine.
Ellis is reeling.
He looks defenseless on the rope. The referee may be deciding whether he's going to stop the fight. He is stopping the fight.
I really care nothing about boxing. Boxing is a stepping stone just to introduce me to the audience. Like if I was still in Louisville, Kentucky, and never was a boxer, I might get killed next week in some type of freedom struggle, and you never read the news. But now, if I'm even say the wrong thing, it makes news. So like boxing is just to introduce me to the struggle. Like when I speak, I draw people in the States to draw my people, to teach them various things, which will give them dignity, pride, and self-help, and go for self, help the ghetto, and help the dope prostitution problem, the juveniles, and I use my image to help or do all I can to stop a lot of trouble among our own people fighting and killing each other. So boxing is just going to be another year, but my main fight is for freedom and equality, and this is what I plan to do in boxing. It's good for livelihood, but mainly money don't really mean nothing, because I proved that when I gave up the title, not knowing if I'm coming back or not for 4 years, and they let me back on my terms. I didn't deny nothing, I believe. It's still the same everything. So if even today, if my title hadn't been given back to me, if I got such in poverty where I had to go find a job, I would have did that. But I made a good living speaking in colleges because the war got unpopular. and so many black militants who were trying to do all they could, and I was naturally right in the middle of all of it and represented it, and that kept me alive. But if I couldn't fight, I would still not be fighting. So number one comes freedom first for my people, equality, and this is what I plan to do after I'm through fighting, working with nothing but the people, the little people in the alleys, the wine heads, the downtrodden people, going out among them and helping them with my image. You know, I'm sure Henry will tell you, any fighter that knows what's happening, you really can't plan a fight when you're meeting a man you've never met before, right? You just have to get your tools ready. Here's a car stops on the highway. They call the AAA or whatever and say, my car's broke down. What it is, the lady, she don't know what's broken. Well, the man comes with all the tools, and he come equipped to handle whatever the problem is. An astronaut goes into space, and he pretends that something happens to the ship before he take off. He gets out and he works on it. He's not looking for something to happen, but it might happen. So I just had everything ready. Now, after the first round, being here with a top professional, a man so great, had so many knockouts, never been defeated, never been even scratched, I didn't know really how good he was. So I had to come in actually a little nervous and with everything ready. After one round of dancing, I found out that this would tire me out. So I would have to resort to ropes. I figured that out after the first round. So I said, I'm going to go to these ropes, and I'm going to let this man throw everything he can. Let him tire himself out. It might look like he's winning. And if he don't hurt me, I'm going to stay here. But if he should be as great as they say he is, if he hits as hard as they say he hit, when he hits you and breaks your arm, he knocked out Joe Frazier. I couldn't do it. Knocked out Ken Norton. He was a big, bad giant before the fight, you remember. Now, you remember that, don't you?
Yeah,
how bad he was? They don't say that now. But you remember he was a real bad cat the other day, right? Don't forget that. Now, after I found out he didn't have it, I stayed there. But if he had had what I thought he had or what they said he had, I'd have kept running, hoping I wouldn't get tired.
Joking around for Muhammad Ali. He is trying to drop Webster. There's a good combination. Webster's ready to go. He's ready to go. Ali comes on. Webster's staggering. He's out of the squeeze right now. There's a combination. Ali has his man in trouble. Webster attempting to hang on viciously. He's trying to hang on. He's out on his feet. Ali smokes him. A right hand off the left hook.
It's really silly when you think about fighting. I look at other fighters fighting, I say, I must be a fool. Here are two men like two roosters. You know them cockfights. They take two roosters and they put them out and they put knives on them, and the roosters are fighting each other, and they're not even mad, don't know each other, and just to please somebody. And here are two men in the ring fighting each other, and they hitting each other, and they bleeding and they fighting. What they mad about? They're not mad about nothing. And just a bunch of agitating, bloodthirsty people saying you can whoop him, he can whoop him, my man can whoop your man. All right, y'all get in there and fight. Humans should have more sense than that. And you sitting out there dressed up, drinking your beer, and and they just fight. And they just get, and this is serious. The nose is bleeding, the eyes cut, the teeth is out, and the brain, they might have a concussion just to please you, human beings. Real savage. And I said, I'm not going to be that kind of fight. I'm going to dance and be pretty. I'm just going to win on points. And if I hurt my man, I'm going to let him go. I'm not going to kill him just because somebody's watching. I did it to Floyd Patterson. I did it to George Chuvalo. I did it to Carl Miltenberger. I did it to Henry Cooper. When he started bleeding, I just pulled off of him deliberately, blood just pumping and gushing. And he's got a family. He's got children. And I just can't. James Ellis, I can't see myself with a man on the ropes and just to prove how bad I am. And I see I got him, his eyes in his head, he's helpless, and I'm just deliberately hitting him. I don't do that.
1:30 left in the fight. Oh, that left! Florida, it came from nowhere. Ali came through with a left. The crowd screaming. The first knockdown of the fight. He took the mandatory 8. And now Ali is behaving like the old Ali.
more knockdown in this round, the fight is automatically over. Bonavena is running. If he goes down again, it's over. Ali is the knockout winner at 2 minutes and 3 seconds by my unofficial clock of the final round. It began with a left. I'm going up to ring center.
Whether it's a world champion boxer, a basketball player, a track star, a horse, even animals, I find out that this Mark Spitz, for an example, he's a world champion. But what made him the world champion was that he seemed to, at the right time when the pressure's down, at the last few yards, he can get that lead, or he's got enough left to make it. I fought Ken Norton, my last fight. The fight was even up until the last round, but I had something that he didn't have, although I'm much older, and that was the last-minute kick.
What's that last-minute kick? Is that something?
Just the stamina, the strength, the
mental, more than training,
the mental capacity, to realize what's involved and how important it is to make your body do something that's really too tired to do. Your mind makes you do it. Mark Spitz, this Olympic track star was mentioning, he wasn't that much greater than all the people in the world, but sometimes he won by just that much. And a champion is just one who can come out at the last minute and close the show. As I say, the star closes the show. A 14, 15-round fight, and it's even, and usually this champion, you can depend on him to come through the last few seconds and find some energy from somewhere.
Is it discipline?
Not only that, it's mental and physical. His body's in physical shape to do it, plus mentally too. He's got himself in condition where both fellas may be, sometimes the will can outdo the skill. And sometimes a fella's will is stronger than the man who's actually better physically, and the determination and weakens the other man just to see him so determined.
Ali moving in on London. A fuselage of punches by Muhammad Ali. London goes down. The referee sends Ali to a neutral corner.
Your pre-fight build-ups, when you go to the weigh-in and you have, or they appear mock-up battles with the other opponent. Are they really? How much is that towards the
well, I'm not really wanting to fight there because I wouldn't be paid. But I really do be angry. I have to psych myself up. I put myself on spots. I say,
it's just for press, for the build up for the
well,
fight.
not really, because the evening of the fight is when that happens, and it's really sold out by then. But it actually puts fear in your opponent, like George Foreman. Just before the fight, I'm looking at him, and the man's giving his instructions. I said, "Sucker, you are in trouble tonight. You are fighting the greatest fight of all times. You heard I was the greatest, like you just said you heard this, now you see it." I said, "You said I was the greatest, but you're going to see. I'm fast, sucker. I'm going to burn you up. You were fighting your idol. When you were a little kid, you heard about me, you know." And he wasn't even fighting. He didn't have his first fight in 1969. I'd been exiled 2 years after all I'd done. He just started fighting. So when I was fighting people like you in the 60s, he was just a little kid in junior high school. I said, "You're meeting your master, your idol." He looked at me. And then I went back, first round. I laid in the corners, right? I said, "Come on, show me something." I talked through the whole fight. I don't know if you all know it. I talked through the whole fight. I said, "Come on, sucker." I said, "Show me something. They told me you could hit hard. You're just a sissy. Come on, sucker. Show me something. Come on, you can do better than that, George. You want to corner me? Here I am. You're waiting to corner me?" And he just, and every once in a while I just go, See, the quickest way to a point is a straight line. To hit me, he had to do that. And while he's doing that, I said, I'm tagging him with jabs, right? Pop, pop. The fighter, you know. When you ever meet a man coming at you like that, don't worry about it. Don't duck like it's so powerful. Just pop him. Pop. See, he's going. I done hit him before he got there. He's sticking one in.
What else did you say to him, man? What else did you say to him?
Oh, I grabbed his head sometimes and I said, look at you. Round 7, and you're tired. You have 8 more rounds to go. Come on, keep punching. I want you to get tired. I said, uh-oh.
I said, this is the wrong place to get tired. This is the wrong place to get tired. And he's just throwing them. I said, Ned, he got a couple of bruises. You notice his face is kind of swollen. I said, look at you. You're the world heavyweight champion. You're the world. He's hitting him. You're the world heavyweight champion. And look at me. You can't. Pop, I hit you. Just said, watch out, here come another one. Pop. I said, look at that. Look at that. He threw it there. I said, come on, get him. I'm going back to the rope now. I laid back. I said, okay, take your best shot. Take your best shot. He's breathing. I said, oh, you finished, boy. You are in trouble. I said, you don't have but 2 chances, slim and none. You're in trouble. I talked to him through the whole fight.
I was told that it's a big honor to be invited to speak at a place like Harvard. I'm trying to be serious, but you want to make me laugh anyway. I understand that out of people such as you all come presidents and governors and mayors and great doctors and physicians and scientists and everything. So I said, well, to get something together to talk to these people, it's got to be pretty heavy. If you had told me I'd be offered a professorship to teach philosophy and poetry at Oxford and speaking at Harvard, man, I never would have believed it. So I'm real humble, and I'm thankful to be here. It's such a high seat of learning, and I'm just a boxer when most boxers can't even talk. You couldn't invite Joe Frazier, George Foreman. This is the Ali Show. And this here, and this here.
In the long and glorious history of Harvard University, no speaker ever received such a tumultuous standing ovation.
Very even fight. Ali, a sneaky right hand. Another sneaky right hand. This time he works over the shoulder of Foreman.
Thank you so much for watching. I made this video because Lex Vanden Herrick asked me to. So if there's a famous entrepreneur that you want me to profile next, leave it in the comments below and I'll see what I can do. I'd also love to know which of Muhammad Ali's top 10 rules meant the most to you. Leave it in the comments and I'll join in the discussion. Thank you so much for watching. Continue to believe, and I'll see you soon.
Ready for Revolution, and welcome to another edition of Classes in Session. I'm your brother and friend, Brother Eric Toure Muhammad. I appreciate you all getting on and joining into the onto the platform this morning. You know, most of you can find a lot of the other things to do with your day, but you chose to start it off with us here, so we're extremely grateful. You know, a lot of what I saw on that screen, I see Brother Carlito Muhammad is on. Brother Carlito, I'm gonna tell you, man, it reminded me so much of you and your fights. Oh no, he was a winner. Believe me when I tell you, I'm talking about Carlito. He was a winner, no doubt about it. All right. Greetings to all of you, family. Thank you for joining us. I see the professor himself, Brother Gregory McKay, is in the house from Lansing, Michigan. Team Lansing in the house. Thank you. Thank you so much. Please, if you have not done so already, be so kind to rep your wealth building teams. You know, let it be known, let it be felt. Team Legacy's in the house, Audacity's in the house, Freedom is in the house, Union's in the house. Come on, y'all rep your teams and let everybody know that you're in this opportunity, not just for yourself, because let me put it this way. You're in business for yourself, but you're not by yourself. So we're going to go through some serious housekeeping rules. We're going to hit it quick. We're going to hit it fast. And I'm encouraging everyone to share. There's a reason why I played that at the length that I did. And there's a reason why I encouraged the promotion of Mr. Evan Carmichael. Evan Carmichael is the one who put this piece together, as well as the one we did on President Mandela yesterday. And he put it together and he noted what he considered the most successful tips, the 10 successful tips. And he encourages people to reach out to him and share what they like the most. The reason why I encouraged it, because he's allowing you to assess on your own. He's allowing you the opportunity to give your own opinion. You know, this is where opinion and thought matters. And I appreciate that in any individual who allows room and breath for people to express themselves. You know, so I appreciate that. And hey, Brick City Millionaires, Freedom Builders, what's going on? Brother Caleb, good to see you. You know, Haiti Development in the house. Matter of fact, let me tell y'all something about Brother Caleb. In case you don't know, he's one of the foremost teachers and providers showing you how to structure 501c3s, nonprofit organizations, and he's extremely skilled at it. Brother Caleb, if you would, if you have a website associated with your trainings, would you please just note it right here in the commentary so people can find you? You know, he's also a fellow wealth builder, freedom fighter in many respects, and I really appreciate his presence with us this morning. All right, so we're going to move on to the housekeeping rules. Y'all ready for them? You know, let's get it in. Let's get it in. Housekeeping rule number 1. As soon as I find it. Y'all know what it is. Pay yourselves first, folks. Pay yourselves first. You know, your future will thank you later. And that's what you're shooting for. You want to be remembered for what you do. You want to be remembered way down the road. I explained to you, I'm waiting on the actual interview to come back so I can share it with y'all, because I was asked to share it. Thank you, Brother Caleb. Nonprofitstartupcenter.com, www.nonprofitstartupcenter.com. Okay, make sure that y'all reach out and look at the site and find out what opportunities are there for you to build and enhance not just your business as a wealth builder, but enhance your vision and protect your vision and insulate your vision. Okay, it's one thing to have one, but you know, you're dealing in a world of vultures. People who don't really want to see you succeed like this and remove other people from the shackles of poverty and debt. This is a society that's run off of that. That's one thing in the points that Mr. Ali raised. Muhammad Ali said, he said, sometimes the will can outdo the skill. Our will and desire to be free is so far-reaching and so intergenerational, okay, that years after the Willie Lynch laws, letter, years after all these things put in place to subjugate, impoverish, and enslave society, all these systems that were put in place to create a poverty-driven, debt-driven, and a loyal carrier of debt in its citizens, that spark of freedom still remain. That spark of freedom continue to grow and germinate, and time after time, season after season, reset after reset, crash and falls. Here we are. Now, truthfully, in this great wealth transfer, if you know what you have a society, a world that will never fall again. So understand the value of what you have. Never take any of it for granted. And by all means, in all that you do, every single day of your life, pay yourself first. Of course, you know we have our power call at 10:45 a.m. Eastern time. This morning, I believe we're joined by either the Gordons or Kansu Hotep Atom. So we'll see who's there. Either way, is all designed to inspire, to educate, to motivate, to stimulate, and we celebrate. We celebrate the victories of wealth builders who brought others to the opportunity. We learn about new business partners. We learn about packages that are acquired. We learn about victories in cash cold and massive wealth building that occurs. So you want to be there at the start of at 10:45 a.m. to get the mind agenda and the spirit agenda in place. And then, of course, 12 noon. And again, at 9 p.m., we have our live events Eastern. And they all carry from the same platform, www.goldrocks.info. And I love quoting this: the way to change the nature of our experiences is to change the nature of our thoughts. All right. And then, of course, those of you who were with us yesterday, after Brother Carlito's tremendous debut, Spotlight with Carlito, man, it was fire. He and Brother Kevin 2X Thompson brought the house down. Oh my goodness. Y'all need to go back to the Kafani Radio Facebook page and check that out if you missed it. And then when you get it, tag somebody in it, share it out to people, create watch parties around it, and put your link on it. You know, it was an amazing show. That thing had me on fire. Immediately after that, I offered a presentation on this platform, Financial Growth, how to build your savings in gold. And it was received pretty well. You know, I was grateful. We had great tutelage. Mr. Michael L. Dalco was on, as well as Mrs. Sherry Brown was on, and many of your leaders, and you shared it out in many places. I mean, it got tremendous attention and support, and we appreciate it because we really want you to understand the power of what you have. Because at the end of the day, if you keep the main thing, you will be successful, you know, and we saving gold. In fact, this Tuesday, June 9th at 6 p.m. Eastern, that's the third installment of our 90-day run to wealth. It's a Zoom meeting. Most of your meetings are private with the exception of the third Tuesday within each 90-day session. And this Tuesday, you have an open invite. Bring your associates, bring your affiliates, bring your friends, bring people who really don't understand how to handle money or what money is. They will appreciate you going the extra mile with them when they feel you're not trying to sell them on an opportunity. When you can show them how they can recreate a wealth base in their home, I mean, in minutes, seconds, it does a lot for people. If they were around to hear some of the testimony last week, 70 grams of gold, Linda Johnson Spence, 120 grams of gold from Brother Hayden. I mean, when you think about what you find in your house that you have immediate access to, and then learn how to, for the lack of a better term, flip it into value and a multiplied value, and learn how to leverage the economy in your home, well, you can't lose. So, at any rate, y'all take a note of that. Look at the meeting ID. It's a Zoom platform. Make sure you jot it down. Put it on your agenda. Schedule yourself to be in the place. Schedule yourself to be in the place. We have special guests this particular Tuesday. I'm not naming them. I just know that I'm excited. So please, by all means, and those of you who have enrolled, literally enrolled into the process, you have gifts coming that start going out today in an email drop. You'll get the e-booklet. Okay, Become a Millionaire. The e-booklet is available, and it'll be dropped in to the link to it will be dropped into your mailbox starting at some point today. I don't know exactly what time today, but you all will have it before Tuesday. And clean up your emails, y'all. Check your spams, check your junk mails. You know, if you're not accustomed to receiving email from us and we're telling you we sent it, you saying you haven't found it, take a look first. You know, I mean, tell us, we're going to send to you anyway, but take a look and just see if it's there and learn how to organize ourselves and structure our emails so we can highlight and define what's most important to us. Any rate, that's enough of that soapbox. Yesterday, we talked about developing will with Dr. Harold Constantine Seitz, visionary and CEO of, visionary and, CEO and head of Karat Bars International. and he talked about we talked about developing will, and we quoted him from his Facebook posting. Go back to the Harold Constantine Zeitz Facebook page, and you'll see a phenomenal quote about what he believes. He said that I work for what I believe in. What we started with our Carabal's family is a revolution. Well, in case y'all don't know what revolution means change. Full and complete. When you're actively involved in revolution, you've made up your mind, you developed your mindset, your skills, you're bringing everything to the table to produce the reality. And so we just explored that yesterday. It was a wonderful session. And now when you combine it to what we're experiencing with our session today, opening the portion with Mr. Muhammad Ali, you find that we're now talking about achievements and how achievements, speak to character. Achievements speak to character. I lost the entire slide. So as we get back together, let me come back over here and get that blue screen out the way. So when we look at the fact that character is a necessary part, in developing will, character is a necessary part in the ability to succeed, to achieve, you have to look at the tenets that make it up. Now, yesterday, when we talked about will, we also talked about how the will is central to all of the desires of humanity and the universe. It is central, and in that central desire, it allows you to accomplish and do things in ways that you might not have ever imagined, because you're working in concert. You're bringing your entire orchestra together to arrange the results, or you strive to create the accomplishments of your dreams. I think I have it coming back up now. And I wanted to walk us through a definition of character. Hopefully everyone can still see my screen. Sometimes you step away to look at stuff. All right, here we go. So character is the mental and moral qualities distinctive to an individual. It's the mental and moral qualities distinctive to an individual. Now, some definitions of character relate to acting, it relates to role playing. But here we chose this one in particular because there are things that you hone in on, things that you develop in yourself that create a greater and a stronger sense of purpose. When you watched Ali, a couple of the successful tips that Evan cited, he talked about how he thought differently. He talked about how he had confidence in himself. He talked about how he defied the rules. See, if you continuously work within the norm, then all you'll ever have is what you currently experience. But when you've developed your mental and moral qualities or capacities to operate outside what is normal, okay, then you're breaking barriers and you're breaking ground into the potential of launching a new reality. Now, I say potential because it only truly exists and lasts when you deal with what's morally, ethically, and legally proper. Where you say legal, well, okay, you say legalities are subject to any nation and governing body. Yeah, this is true. But the law of the universe is consistent. See, we're not thinking about the United States. We're not thinking about Europe. You're not thinking of the continent of Africa solely. We're thinking about a universe and a universality of us as a people, what we represent, whose we represent, And when we develop from that vantage point, we literally grow into the beings that we desire. And when we do it in unity, it creates exponential growth. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad used to teach us that in righteousness, we control 3.5 square feet. And the diameter, 3.5 square foot diameter in righteousness. And it only exponentiates, meaning anyone that steps inside that 3.5 square feet, it does not matter what they feel outside of it. When they come into it, if they step inside that realm, they have to submit to a greater force. And if they are like minds, if I unite with Carlito, Carlito unites with Cece, Cece unites with Damari and Trish Mitchell and Roz Range and Sister Azana, then what happens is that righteousness, that conviction exponentiates. It becomes 3.5 to the second power, to the third power, to the fourth power. When you see us gather at Let's Go Weekend, oh yeah, you might come as an individual the first time if you don't know any better, if you don't understand the power and magnitude of what is exposed to you. You come as an individual, it's a learning experience. When you come back with people, you building a team. You're building a network. You see, because it exponentiates. Every aspect of it operates from the vantage point of what's righteous, what's moral, what's legal, what's ethical. And what it is, the power of what you have in wealth building is the fact that there's nothing you can do in the opportunity that will rob or deprive me. There's nothing that I can do in the opportunity that would take away or steal anything from you. Nothing. Because it's a level playing field. So when Dr. Sykes talks about his mission, and he talks about making gold affordable and available to millions of honest people, the honesty comes in, the honesty reigns when you are dealing with a honest asset. And we have the most honest of assets in gold. Why? Because it carries no debt. So it carries no baggage. You don't have the dross or the anxieties associated with debt. There's no robbing Peter to pay Paul. Gold comes to settle all the differences. And that's the power of the character. So when we build mental and moral qualities distinctive to ourselves, meaning speaking to our own talents and skill sets, and we unite with each other and we build each other's teams, we say it all the time. Build your team and we win. Oh, we mean that. We absolutely mean it. He went on to I'm talking about Evan Michael, and you can look him up on YouTube. He has an excellent page of a lot of leaders, political figures, and entertainers, and people that we admire in many respects. But those that we admire, we learn more about them beyond the celebrity. When you're able to sit down as they sit down and they share. You know, Ali was a great humanitarian. There was no doubt about that. But there's some things about his past that we have forgotten, that we have benefited from and still benefit from today. And we're clueless as to what they are, unless we're made to look at it, you know? So an example of character, running away was not in keeping with her character, meaning it wasn't a part of her makeup, her DNA, to run from a style or a commitment or a conviction because of the mental and moral correctness that was distinctive, that were united with that conviction. Okay, I think I beat that drum enough. This is a great morning to me. It left me heck of excited. All right, I want to share with you some other things about Ali. I got a little beside myself there. Before we close out, if the screen ever comes back, there we go. Look, right thinking leads to right living. A winner never quits and a quitter never wins. That full sentence came from Jim Rohn, rather. Okay, that was a quote from him. I meant to attribute it there. I apologize for missing it, but it's Jim Rohn. And many of us have embraced it and use it as a mantra. You know, Dante Taylor, you will always hear him say, a quitter never wins. You know, I mean, a quitter never quits, rather, and a quitter never wins. You know, that's an amazing quote. I want to show you just this one slide highlighted here of Ali. If I can ever get back to the screen, here we go. Now, this slide, this was taken in 1967. Matter of fact, it was a few days ago, 1967, June 4th. Wow, June 4th. All right. There's in center sitting at the table, left to right. That's Bill Russell, Muhammad Ali, Jim Brown, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who was known then as Lou Alcindor. And then he had other athletes and political figures behind him. First black senator Carl Stokes is directly behind Bill Russell. You had Willie Davis. You had Bobby Mitchell, Sid Williams, Curtis McClinton, Jim Shorter. And then on the very end behind Jabbar, you had John Wooten. I mean, you had this collective of people. Also, who was a part of this at this time was a real young brother named Michael Warren. Michael Warren was a great basketball player at UCLA, and he had the option to either go pro or follow his passion to do acting, film, and drama. He went on to become a celebrity and hero in the series Hill Street Blues that used to come on the NBC platform. And he was a celebrated police officer in that. And you will go on to see him now as a statesman in different types of shows and sitcoms, Michael Warren. Okay, well, they decided when they came together here, they used the platform. Ali allowed them to use his celebrity, to support his position against the Vietnam War. But really what they did, they were launching the first black sports and entertainment agency. That's what they were working on. That's what they were developing. And Ali encouraged them to utilize his celeb to help pull this together, because he saw the need for people's fight and plights to be realized, to be achieved. And that was the first attempt publicly to launch an all black owned and operated talent agency. When I say the first to be launched, we had our own, we had promoters in our communities. We used to put up billboards and snipes of different shows and fights and things of that nature, inviting people to come to our bar, inviting people to come to our club, the Royal Peacock in Atlanta, the Roxy in Brixton or in England. And then you had things like Zanzibar in Newark, New Jersey. You understand? So you had these places. We've always had promoters, but here they were looking to do something to take the money back that the robin bearers were making in our sport and play. They wanted to redirect it and enhance community. Muhammad Ali was also a person who was on peacekeeping missions. Do you remember when the Flight Lieutenant Robert Goodman, his plane went down in Iran and he was captured? And so Jesse Jackson, Louis Farrakhan, Muhammad Ali, others went over to negotiate for the release. And then Ali wasn't on that mission. He was able to give guidance on that mission, but the mission that he was on, he went to free the hostages in Iraq. And so he went there on his own because of his world positioning and celeb. And he utilized the platform to speak to the greater good of people and what can be done for people. So this is what the power of what we have within ourselves. We have the power with our wealth building status, our wealth building brilliance and acumen. We have the ability to grow ourselves to a point of celeb. Many people in the world, folks, have no idea that gold is available to them. Many people in the world have no idea how they're going to make a way out of what appears to be no way. But you on this platform, you know it. You understand what you have in front of you. You understand the power and the majesty of what you possess. And as a result, as the world wakes up to not just the motion of the coin, but the activity of our blockchain, when the world wakes up to this thing called Karatbars International, guess what? What's going to go off in their mind as a trigger that, oh yeah, Danny James, he told me something about that. Deb Nixon, she told me something. Let me get back to Ron Newton. He said something about that gold thing. They're going to be looking for you, and they're going to be ready to embrace the opportunity in the way that you first offered it. So understand that. Remember that. You know how I do. I'm going to jump off in a moment. I'm going to bounce over to hear Miss Lakeisha McKnight to see what she got popping in her world, in her Bible study. And then just after, I'll get to Brother Kansu, Hotep Atom to hear what's popping over there. And of course, we're going to do our power call at 10:45 Eastern and the subsequent live meetings. And of course, you might find me somewhere popping up in the world of cyberspace doing what I do as the wealth building junkie. So again, congratulations to Brother Khalito Muhammad and Calfani Radio. It was really an amazing program last night. I was very inspired, very lifted by what he offered. I mean, man, he was really he and Brother Kevin too, they were in their element, man. They were absolutely in their element, and I really, really, really appreciate them. What's that, Roz? Said Mama said the Royal Peacock on Auburn Avenue was a spot. You're right. You're right. My father-in-law, may Allah be pleased, was a regular performer there. Matter of fact, it was his career blossomed from the Royal Peacock. He performed with Felipe Wynn, who was with the Spinners, and Joe Tex, and man, there was so many greats that came through the Royal Peacock. It was the spot for real. Auburn Avenue was, it was the truth, you know. And like in Brooklyn, we had the Pickens Theater, you know, and we had so many different places where we could only go, and we were supportive of one another. All the music was broken. They broke ground in our communities on these so-called chitlin circuits, you know. And the Black Bible Belt broke praise and gospel and worship traditions. Man, I mean, look, you know, we may not have been the first in this society to do some of these things, but nobody did it better once we started doing it, once we became known for it, you know. So yeah, it was absolutely the spot, you know. So family, know this. I want to remind us of the Tuesday presentation, June 9th, 6 p.m. Eastern. It's a Zoom platform. Take down this meeting ID, get a screenshot of it, share it out to your teams, share it out to everybody you want to introduce to the opportunity on another level, something they may be able to relate to right now in terms of where they can find money in their crisis. This eliminates people saying, I don't have the money. Oh, we all have it. We all have it. We all have the abundance. We all have the lack. I mean, the lessening of lack. We all have the abundance. You know, all we had to do is properly retrain the brain to will into existence exactly what we had. That's right, the Zanzibar. That was my spot. Oh, I wasn't supposed to say that. I'll let you say it, Sister Veronica. The Zanzibar. Okay, that's you. We know it was you. Yeah, I love the Zanzibar. I ain't gonna lie. We had a wonderful, wonderful experience. Okay, we have always been great. This is true. So again, Tuesday, June 9th, 6 p.m. Eastern. It's a special open class to the 90-day run to wealth. Every third Tuesday of the 90-day run, this is our first one, we open the class for people to learn and hear from their leadership, learn and hear of the victories, and hear some prominent nuggets dropped from our international leaders on this opportunity and what it means for us in this hour. So please make sure to involve and you know, and gain others, get others to participate in it. I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for the opportunity to share with you today. I hope something we shared was found meaningful and substance for you. And I do look forward to catching up to us again on the Power Call. All right, family. Peace and power. Forward.
Peace. Strong words. Love. Soul. And change. Yeah. This is Big Snoop Dogg. Coming at you live and direct. And I got something to say. You dig?
All right, before you say it, Snoop, let me say this. Okay, I just saw your note, Sister CC. Thank you. The meeting ID, for those who cannot see it, the meeting ID is 814-1730-8223. Again, the meeting ID is 814. Hold on a second. I'm sorry. The meeting ID is 814. This is for the Tuesday night Zoom presentation at 6 p.m. The meeting ID is 814-1730-8223. 814-1730-8223. That's for Tuesday night's 90 day run to wealth. And I'm taking time to type that in because I think that's a little more important. Meeting ID. Thank you, Sister CC Mahone. I just saw the request. Okay. So I just typed it in. I believe I got it in there. All right. And everyone else, please get it. Please share it. And hopefully and prayerfully, we'll see each other on the next stream. All right. Peace and power. Forward.
Peace. Strong words. Love. Soul. And change. Yeah. This is Big Snoop Dogg. Coming at you live and direct. And I got something to say. You dig?
Let's change the world. Divided we fall, but united we stand. Let's change the world. No fights, no wars. Oh, let's learn to love again. Let's change the world. Let's change the world. Let's change the world. Whoa, oh, oh. Let's change the world. Let's change the world. Let's change the world. Let's make hope for the future.
Brother, what will you discover if we come together and do it like we never? I'm just sick and tired. I'm fit to light the fire. Now put this on the wire. The devil is a liar. I do this with no hesitation. Meet me at the reservation. Elevating, educating, meditating, concentrating. Replenisher, finisher, opposite of sinister. And I do it for the minister.
Let's change the world. Divided Divided we fall, but united we stand. Let's change the world. No fights, no wars, so let's learn to love again. Let's change the world. Let's change the world. Let's change the world. Whoa. Let's change the world. Let's change the world. Let's change the world. Let's make hope for the future.
Somebody need to stop the war. Man, the war ain't overseas, it's at your front door. And I done seen too many brothers shot up on the floor for more than drugs and some colors. And now you call us warlords. But if you can help it, then help it. But you ain't helping us. You so selfish and selfless, you wanna see us breathless and helpless. But I'ma hustle to tussle for all my brothers who struggle. Yeah, we bang the world. Now let's change the world.
Let's change the world. Divided we fall, but united we stand. Let's change the world. No fights, no wars, so let's learn to love again. Let's change the world. Let's change the world. Let's change the world. Whoa. Let's change the world. Let's change the world. Let's change the world. Let's make hope for the future.
No killing, no shooting, no dying, no lying, no gang banging, so no more mamas crying. Everybody get along, man, that be the perfect song. Peace in the streets as I sit back on my phone, chilling with the president. He let me in the White House, back to the castle with the minister. No doubt, shoes at the front door. Love is what you come for. Let's get it right and unite, but do it right.
Let's change the world. Divided we fall, but united we stand. Let's change the world. No fights, no wars, so let's learn to love again. Let's change the world. Let's change the world. Let's change the world. Whoa. Let's change the world. Let's change the world. Let's change the world. Let's make hope for the future.